Good afternoon, everybody. There's nothing like Facebook Live to make a fool out of yourself. So I have my cohort Heidi here this afternoon helping me because I am not a techie person. And Bob is still recuperating, so he's not with us. This is our second time around. We've already done this once, maybe 1.5 times, but we erased the video, so we're doing it again, and hopefully this time it will stick. So I thought that we would talk about Memorial Garden, building a memorial garden today. A couple weeks ago when we did this, we talked about positive things that we could do during the grieving process to kind of help with the healing. And I have personal experience with a memorial garden, and I feel that it's been very healing for me, and I wanted to share my personal story. And again, I mentioned in the other video the first time around that I am not really a person that likes to be in front of the camera. I'm not a selfie girl. I don't like to talk in front of people, so here I am doing all this. But and I can only relate by telling you my own personal story, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but I have mentioned, I feel like I know all of you even though I don't see you. I have mentioned that I had a brother that I was very close to. He was the youngest in the family and I was the oldest, and there was about 12 years difference between us. And we used to spend our summers up here in this area, up in Birchville. We grew up in Royal Oak, and we used to spend our summers up here. My grandma had a cottage on the lake, and we'd come up here every summer. I was here the first 7 years of his life, and then I moved out of state. But, you know, we had some really great memories on the lake, and then the years after that I would come home from Wisconsin and then Colorado and spend some time on the beach with him. So we had some really great memories. And then in the year 2000, my dad sold me the property and I moved to the house on the lake. And my brother, who lived in Marysville at the time, offered to come and help me kind of cut out a garden around the patio. And it really wasn't too gardeny, it was more shrubs and stuff, but he put in some flowers as well. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this stuff alive, because I really did not have a green thumb. I didn't have much experience with flower gardens. I had moved here from Colorado, where the climate is extremely dry, and most times people put flowers in pots and whiskey barrels, but the ground is just so dry, and there's a water shortage there, so you could only water on certain days, and so you just don't see the flowers there like you do here. So my brother put this little garden area around the deck, and he said to me, next summer we'll build a flower garden on the front, right at the edge of the bluff. And I was real excited about that, and I was thrilled. I was like, yeah, I definitely want to do that. Well, unfortunately, my brother died in a car accident that winter, and so the following summer, my best friend called me one day, and she said, I want to come up and help you put that garden in. I know that's important to you. And so she came up, and we tore out the grass and you know, built a garden. We got rocks from the beach and bordered it, and it's right on the edge of the bluff, and so every morning I can watch the sunrise over that beautiful flower garden that we built, and kind of in his memory. So that was done probably in 2005, and I still to this day have that flower garden. In fact, that's the picture that you saw on Facebook of the garden with the sunrise is the garden that I'm talking about. And it's been very healing to me to be able to go out and work in that garden every year in the spring. I don't really look forward to cleaning it all out and all that, but once I get it all cleaned out, picking the flowers, I have lots of perennials there, but I also add lots of annuals to bring all kinds of color, and it just makes me think of him. It makes me think of the memories that we shared on this property throughout our lifetime while he was here, and it's been an extremely important thing in my life, you know, to kind of express my creativity, but also to have my brother in mind as I'm doing it. But there's lots of ways that you can build a memorial garden, and there's lots of fun things that you can do to memorialize your loved one. You can take things that represent their personality. You know, if it's maybe a person in your family that liked to build and used a lot of tools, sometimes it's fun to take their tools and make some kind of garden art or something, or just, you know, put things in the garden just to, you know, interesting little ornaments and stuff. I like to paint rocks. I've gotten rocks from the beach and painted them and put them in the garden. I've used, you know, put words on rocks and kind of scattered them throughout the garden. So there's lots of different things that you can do in your garden to make it personalized to the person that you want to memorialize. But I have just found it to be one of the most healing things that I've done in relation to that loss. And then you know, as I was kind of looking over, you know, I did some Google searching on memorial gardens, and I found out, you know, there's a lot of different meanings to colors and flowers, and then, you know, there's certain flowers that have names that definitely coincide with grieving, like a sweetheart rose or baby's breath if you've lost a child, a forget-me-not, a bleeding heart, stars and stripes for maybe somebody that was in the military. And then there's flowers that represent birth months, and I don't have all those here. I don't want to read them all off, but like August is gladiolas, and April is daisies. And then there's colors that represent, you know, personality traits or you know, things that would possibly represent the person that you want to keep in mind in your garden. So white represents purity and perfection. Yellow represents well-being, thoughtfulness, consideration, wisdom, intelligence. I like to put a lot of yellow in my garden. Green represents healing, hope, victory, rest, balance, health, peace, and serenity. Orange represents friendliness, courtesy, sociability, outgoing, pride, abundant energy. Peach represents love and wisdom. Red, love, passion, energy. Scarlet, courage, loyalty. Pink, love, joy, grace, happiness, affection, kindness, being in love. Blue, truth-seeking, wisdom, heaven, eternity, devotion, and loyalty. Purple represents royalty, oneness with God, devotion, loving kindness, compassion, spirituality. Violet represents devotion, affection, love, gentleness, and peacefulness. And then there's flowers, and I'm not going to go through all the flowers, but there's flowers that represent certain attributes, like a geranium is a positive attitude, strength of purpose, steadfastness. Fuchsia represents harmony, healing for those who grieve, angels. Ferns represent peace, acceptance, grace, serenity, gentility. Peonies represent thoughts of the past and memories. So there's a lot of meaning to the flowers and the colors and all that, and it, you know, you can kind of incorporate that into the garden as to how the personality that you want it to have. But we're gonna put some pictures of our beautiful hospice home gardens. We have a beautiful memorial garden. We have a beautiful pond, and I think often when people are here to visit their family members, or even our patients find a lot of solitude in the surroundings here because of the beautiful flowers and greenery and peacefulness and the birds singing. And so I just, I wanted to share that with you today, and I hope that that will be something that maybe you can think about. Thank you.